Good morning, students. Students, as you know that in this chapter of isolation of an elements, by now we have done with you the two metallurgical extraction, that was of iron and zinc. Now, as per this reduced syllabus, two more extraction are to be done, and these are the isolation of copper or the metallurgy of copper and the metallurgy of silver. Now, as far as copper is considered, student, the important ore of coppers are copper pyrite, which is also called as the fool's gold. Formula will be CuFeS2. Then copper glance, formula will be Cu2S. Cuprite, the formula will be Cu2O. Since you are entering into the in the multiple choice questions, these are almost a surety questions in the examination. What is copper glance? Cu2S. What is cuprite? Cu2O. What is copper pyrite or what is called as the fool's gold? It is CuFeS2. Now malachite or malachite. This is basic copper carbonate. Formula will be CuOH whole twice CuCO3. And then we have azurite. Azurite again is a basic copper carbonate with the formula CuOH whole twice and twice CuCO3. So first of all, student, you need to learn this important ores of copper along with their formulas. Now, since here I have written for you the flow sheet for the extraction of copper. As far as the flow sheet is concerned, we have to do the extraction of copper from copper pyrite ore. Copper pyrite is CuFeS2. Now, this ore is first of all crushed and sieved. After crushing and sieving the ore, the concentration of the ore will be done by froth flotation process. In this froth flotation process, all the sulfide part or the sulfur part will be obtained as a froth and can be scummed out, and the impurities will settle out. As already discussed, the froth flotation process is used to remove used for purification in the case of a sulfide ores. And since copper pyrite contains sulfur, so it can be purified by or concentrated by froth flotation process. Now, in the froth flotation process, what is to be done? We take a powdered ore. To the powdered ore, we add water and then the pine oil, and then the compressed air is to be passed. What will happen? Sulfide ore will be obtained and obtained in the form of a froth. Am I clear? So, what we do by the froth flotation process, we take a powdered ore. To the powdered ore, we add water and then the pine oil, and then the air is compressed air is circulated. Sulfide ore will be obtained in the form of a froth. So, what various steps by now we have done? The first step in the extraction was crushing and sieving. Second was concentration by froth flotation part. And then after froth flotation, once the sulfide ore is obtained in the form of a froth, the next step will be the roasting in the reverberatory furnace in the presence of air. Now, when the roasting is done, roasting means heating in the presence of air. The impurities of sulfur will be removed as sulfur dioxide. Impurities of arsenic will be removed as arsenic oxide. Copper pyrite will undergo oxidation to form cuprous sulfide and iron sulfide. This is an important reaction. In the examination, it can be asked, what is the product obtained when CuFeS2 is roasted in oxygen? It will be Cu2S and iron sulfide, and a gas will be evolved, and the name of a gas will be sulfur dioxide. This iron sulfide so obtained can further be roasted in presence of air to convert into the iron oxide. So, you must have seen over here in this step of a roasting in the reverberatory furnace, what we have done, we have converted the concentrated ore into the oxide of its ore. So, concentrated ore is converted into oxide ore, impurities of sulfur are removed as sulfur dioxide, arsenic are removed as arsenic oxide, copper pyrite is converted into copper sulfide and iron sulfide and sulfur dioxide, and this iron sulfide is converted into iron oxide. So iron oxide is obtained and a gas obtained will be sulfur dioxide. Now after the roasting in the reverberatory furnace in the presence of air, the next step in the extraction of this is smelting. Smelting of the ore is done in the furnace and that is known as a blast furnace. And the smelting of the ore will be done in the presence of air. What will be done in the smelter? Here again the iron sulfide, if left to get oxidized, it will be oxidized to form iron oxide again. So iron sulfide will again burn in oxygen to form iron oxide and a sulfur dioxide gas will be given out. Now this cuprous oxide formed will react with iron sulfide and will result in the formation of a cuprous sulfide and iron oxide will be given out. This is a very, very important reaction. Cuprous oxide formed earlier may react with leftover iron sulfide and result in the formation of a more of a cuprous sulfide. Further, the impurities of iron oxide can be removed in the form of a slag by reacting with flux or by reacting with silicon dioxide. So flux will react with silicon dioxide and will result in the formation of a slag which is iron silicate. Similarly, this cuprous sulfide which was obtained over here, it will react with more of the iron sulfide and will be collected down at the bottom in the form of a matte. In the question examination, the question may be asked, what is the matte collected in the extraction of a copper? It is a mixture of copper sulfide and the iron sulfide. So this will be obtained as a matte. So copper sulfide and iron sulfide will be obtained as a matte over here. Am I getting clear? Next step will be the basimerization, and basimerization will be done in the Bessemer converter. This again will be done in the presence of air. How do we do? This iron sulfide in the Bessemer converter will be oxidized to iron oxide and sulfur dioxide. Then iron oxide so form, it will be removed as iron silicate in the form of a slag. Any cuprous sulfide which was left to be oxidized, it will be converted into cuprous oxide and sulfur dioxide. And this cuprous oxide and sulfur dioxide will react together and undergo the auto reduction, and in this form the blister copper will be obtained. This again is a very, very important reaction. Cu2O when react with copper sulfide, it will undergo auto reduction and form a blister copper and a gas will be given out, and the name of a gas is sulfur dioxide. After this, the purification is to be done by the refining process. But before discussing the refining process, let me recapitulate again the flow sheet for the extraction of copper. Copper pyrite ore is first of all crushed and then sieved. After crushing and sieving, the ore is concentrated by froth flotation process. In the froth flotation process, the powdered ore is mixed with water and pine oil and air, and this will result in the formation of sulfide ore which will be obtained in the form of a froth. After removing the sulfide ore in the form of a froth, it is to be roasted in the furnace which is called as a reverberatory furnace. The roasting will be done in the presence of air, where sulfur will be removed as sulfur dioxide, arsenic will be removed as arsenic oxide, copper pyrite will be converted into copper sulfide and iron sulfide. This iron sulfide will be roasted to form iron oxide. Then in the next step, smelting is done. Smelting is done in the blast furnace in the presence of air, where iron sulfide will oxidize to form iron oxide and sulfur dioxide. Copper oxide and iron sulfide will react with each other to form copper sulfide and iron oxide. Iron oxide and silicon dioxide, it will result in the formation of iron silicate, which will be obtained as a slag. And then this copper sulfide will react with iron sulfide and result in the formation of a matte over here. So you may see over here the matte will be obtained. Matte will be obtained. So copper sulfide and iron sulfide will be a matte. So what is the matte obtained over here? A mixture of copper sulfide and iron sulfide. Am I clear? Then the basimerization is to be done, and it is to be done in the Bessemer converter in the presence of air, where iron sulfide will be oxidized to form iron oxide and sulfur dioxide. Iron oxide will be removed in the form of a slag. Copper sulfide will be obtained as copper oxide and sulfur dioxide. And this auto reduction reaction is very important, where cuprous oxide and cuprous sulfide will undergo auto reduction to form a blistered copper. The question will be asked, why it is a blistered copper? Because the evolving sulfur dioxide will give a blistering touch to this. Now in the next step, this blistered copper so obtained, this is to be refined. Blistered copper is 98% copper and 2% impurity. It is refined in the electrolytic cell. And what is done in the electrolytic cell? Students, we all know, we'll take the electrolytic cell. Here anode. Anode will be of impure copper and cathode will be of pure copper. Electrolyte will be acidified copper sulfate. So what electrolyte will take? Will take acidified copper sulfate. Now what happened? The one which is connected to the positive terminal is anode and cathode. This anode over here is impure copper. It is impure copper. And cathode will be a pure copper. Now when we carry out the electrolysis, what will happen? This is a cathode plate which is a pure copper. What we'll do when we carry out the electrolysis? Copper sulfate will ionize to form the copper ion and sulfate ion. Apart from this, there may be a water molecule which may ionize to form the hydrogen ion and the hydroxyl ion. This copper ion and hydrogen ion, this will move towards cathode. And what reaction will take place at cathode? This copper ion will gain the 2 electrons and will deposit as a copper metal. Now, this sulfate ion and hydroxyl ion, they should have been obtained at the anode, but they will act as a spectator ion. And here anode is active electrode. So at anode, what reaction will take place? Copper will lose the 2 electrons and will change into the copper ion. From here, this copper ion will enter into the electrolyte, and from here it will deposit at the cathode plate. This is how almost 99.99% pure copper will be obtained. Remember, the blistered copper obtained was 98% copper and 2% impurities. By this way, rest of the impurities will also be removed. So this is how the extraction of copper will be done from the copper pyrite ore. Now, next and the last one, the last extraction in the syllabus is silver, which is very, very important. Although a very short metallurgical extraction, but very important. The important ore of silver is silver glance. Formula, it is also called as argentite. The formula will be Ag2S. Then the ruby silver, it will be Ag2S, Sb2F3, which is also known as pyrite. Then the horn silver, which is AgCl, also known as chlorargyrite. And then copper silver glance, the formula will be Ag2SCuS. So student, you must learn the name of the ore along with the formulas of the ore. Now, how do we extract silver? We will try to extract silver from the silver glance as well as from silver glance Ag2S. We may also use horn silver, which is AgCl. Now, the flow sheet for the extraction will be, we will take the argentite ore, which is Ag2S or AgCl. The ore is to be crushed first of all. So, first step will be the crushing of the ore. Now, after the crushing of the ore, one of the way of concentration of ore I told you earlier was the leaching. Leaching was used in the extraction of aluminium, as was done in the class 10. Here in the extraction of silver, the process of leaching will be done. So, leaching of the crushed ore by hydrometallurgical, which is also called as MacArthur-Forrest process. Very, very important. So, MacArthur-Forrest process is used for the concentration of a silver ore. What is done in this case, after the ore is being crushed, Ag2S is treated with sodium cyanide and oxygen to form a complex of sodium argentocyanide or sodium silver cyanide. Am I clear? Then, or if the ore is silver chloride, then it will again react with sodium cyanide and result in the formation of NaAgCN whole twice. This process is leaching. Very, very worth coming question in the board examination, either in the MCQ form or in the subjective form. Am I clear? So, silver sulfide will react with sodium cyanide to form NaAgCN whole twice. AgCl will react with sodium cyanide to form sodium argentocyanide and a silver chloride, sodium chloride. After this is obtained, Then this sodium argentocyanide or dicyanidoargentate, it is being treated with a zinc. When it is treated with zinc, it will result in the formation of a silver metal and sodium zincocyanide will be obtained or tetracyanidozincate will be obtained. Am I clear? The naming of this will be discussed with you when we discuss the chapter of coordination chemistry. But over here you may look for the fact, here the silver is extracted. Here again the purification of silver will be done by the process called as electrolytic refining, and the name of the process will be a Moebius process. In this process again, what we obtain in the Moebius process, anode will be impure sulfur, cathode will be pure sulfur, electrolyte will be the silver nitrate solution. When we carry out the process of electrolysis, silver will be deposited at the cathode. The concentration of a silver ion in the electrolyte will be maintained by the oxidation of a silver plate, which is impure anode. Am I clear? Then from there, at cathode, silver ion will reduce to form a silver metal, and at anode, silver metal will lose electron to form silver ion, and this silver ion will be deposited at the cathode. By this way, almost 99.9% pure silver will be obtained. Am I getting clear or not? This is how the extraction of silver will be done. So with this student, I complete your syllabus for the first semester. We have done with you the various chapters, the solid state, solution, electrochemistry, P block, extraction and isolation of the metal, haloalkanes, haloarenes, and alcohol, phenol and ether. So the syllabus of the first semester is over. I hope you must have been learning very hard and must have been solving the large number of multiple choice questions. With this hope, I am summing up the lecture. We'll meet again in the next lecture. Till then, thank you.